Well, one man who thinks cash does have a bright future is Guillaume Lepecq. He thinks cash is a beneficial social network and has just published a new study defending its merits. Our business correspondent Owen Fairclough spoke to him and asked if the decline of cash had reached a tipping point.
On the contrary, we estimate that there are between 600 and 700 billion notes in circulation, which probably makes cash not only the most widely used payment product, but perhaps the most widely used product in the world. And globally, volumes are growing by 9–10% a year. So not only are we nowhere near a tipping point, but we're actually seeing sustained and continued growth of cash. New technologies, social media, the sharing economy are all creating new opportunities to transact. And part of those transactions will be carried out with electronic payment instruments, whether that is cards, phones, biometrics, or internet applications. But part of that growth will also be absorbed by cash.
But look
one of the things...
But let's look at, you mentioned that, let's look at something like Uber, for example. You can't pay for Uber with cash, and this is a hugely, hugely popular service.
Well, in India, for example, Uber has decided to accept cash payments for the simple reason that everyone carries cash and that cash is perfectly adapted for those low-value peer-to-peer transactions. So there are a number of online-type transactions where cash is used.
Are we talking about a Northern Hemisphere phenomenon versus Southern Hemisphere? I hate to use those terms. You're essentially, I think, saying that in countries like the United States, in the West, mobile payments, a cashless society is really starting to take root, and that probably isn't the case in less developed countries.
If we look at the Chinese example, one of the great success stories in payments over the past few decades has been the emergence of China UnionPay. China UnionPay was founded in 2002 and now boasts over 3.5 billion cards, which is more than Visa and MasterCard combined. Yet, over the same period, cash in circulation in China has been growing by a healthy double-digit rate annually.
Do you think China might lead this trend, given that it's soon going to be the world's #1 economy? Is China going to drive this resurgence in cash?
Well, I certainly believe that on the one hand, China has seen extraordinary innovation in payment technologies. I mentioned China UnionPay, but we've seen QQ coins, or we've seen Alipay. And yet, again, this has not happened to the detriment of cash. So yes, I clearly think that we should, this is a space to watch in the future.